Hi everyone, welcome back to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son,
Guy.
and this is our Clash of Champions reactions. Yep, let's say this is the reactions. We've got a lot to go through, Kai, so we'll just jump right back into it. Kick-off show, it started off with the Cruiserweight Championship. It was Gulak versus Corrado versus Dorado. Not much to it. All I'll say is that I think they messed up the ending a little bit, because when Gulak went for a pin on Dorado, his shoulders were up, and then the ref was like, shoulders aren't down, and then they sort of adjusted it and Gulak got the win. Not much to it. I'm not really a fan of 205, so you know, that was basically it. And then a bit of a shocker, the next match on the kickoff, it was AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander for the United States title. This was a little bit of a shocker. I thought this would have been in the main card. Kai pointed out that when the referee held up the belt, it was upside down. That was quite interesting. Alexander got, yeah, it was quite funny. Alexander got early offense, but AJ Styles, in the end, sort of turned it round. He done a brain buster on the apron, which was quite a nice spot. He did a star clash outside, and then just basically, he was taunting and teasing Alexander a little bit. He went for the pin. He lifted him up again, saying, "No, I can pin him whenever I want." And in the end, AJ Styles did actually get the win. And then the OC at the end came out and sort of they beat down Alexander at the end, and there was kind of much to that. Anyway, next was the main show. It started off with Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Obviously, it was going to be early because they had the main event to come, which was at the end of the show, so they separated them as much as they could. Again, not much to it, to be honest. There was a bit of miscommunication, which I did say there might be. I thought there'd be more, but you know, Braun Strowman, I think he bumped into Robert Roode. Yeah, bumped into Seth. That was about it. That was the only thing. But it was a glorious DDT win, and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. And there wasn't really any altercation there between Strowman and Seth Rollins, which was a bit disappointing, to be honest. Then we had Bayley versus Charlotte for the Smackdown Women's title. Again, another quick match. The ending of this match was that Bayley was at the bottom turnbuckle, sort of bent over. She exposed the turnbuckle ring while Charlotte distracted the ref. She was trying to get to her, distracting the ref, and then basically Bayley threw her into the turnbuckle, and that's how she got the win. And she quickly hightailed it out of the building. Next we had the Revival versus the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Xavier Woods had a brace on his leg. Obviously that's a bit of a noteworthy thing to say, because it features into the match. They were working his leg a little bit. Took out Woods partway through the match and did like a double team onto Big E. Then all of a sudden, Xavier Woods jumps up onto the ring to get the tag, acts as if nothing really has happened, which I thought was a little bit rubbish, to be fair. They should have sold it a little bit more. They did a shatter machine outside to Big E, which was quite a nice little spot. And then they basically went and double teamed Woods, and they did a shatter machine to Woods, but it didn't go for the pin. They decided that they would punish Woods a little bit more by targeting his leg, and went for a submission, and he tapped out for the win. So now the Revival are your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
So both of the tag titles have changed.
Yep, that's right. And now the Revival are former NXT, Raw, and now SmackDown champions as well. I think they might be the only team to do that, I think, in the WWE at the minute. They had a bit of a promo about at the end of the match about Randy Orton, about later on, and they're sort of a stable now, so they're sort of bigging up their sort of leader, as it were. Then we had an interview with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. During that, a boom mic came into the shot. It was revealed it was who was holding the boom mic. It was R-Truth. R-Truth was holding the boom mic with Carmella. Alexa Bliss then proceeded to grab the boom mic and announce that R-Truth was there, and then R-Truth got run off by all the jobbers, and that features into the next match, which was Fire and Desire versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss for the women's tag team titles. Again, not much to these matches, to be fair. The endings weren't as great as what I think they could have been. Midway through the match, R-Truth did come out with the jobbers, only for Alexa Bliss to try and get the pin, which was quite interesting. But in the end, he sort of fought it off and ran through the crowd, and then it was Nikki Cross who got the win by beating Fire and Desire, and then they're still women's tag champions. So no change with that belt. That was the only tag team title that didn't change hands. Then we had The Miz versus Shinsuke with Sami Zayn selling a neck injury. He had a neck brace on. Obviously, he had occasion with The Undertaker on Smackdown. Zayn kept interfering in this match, which I knew he would. I think Sami Zayn distracted the ref and pulled at The Miz's legs, only for The Miz to chase him around the ring and then get caught by Shinsuke. Shinsuke rolled him into the ring, did the Kinshasa, and he got the win. So he's still the Intercontinental Champion. So I thought that was how it was going to go down. Then they announced that coming in October, Kai, is there going to be a new draft. They're going to do a new draft. So is this time for them to do it right this time and not have the wild card and just stick to both brands and all that? We don't know. And also they haven't said whether NXT is in that draft or not. I've heard that there's going to be some people going to NXT, possibly Kevin Owens. So we'll have to see. Then we had Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks for the Raw's women's title. This one is a bit involved, so we'll take each point as we can get through it. There was moments where Sasha Banks was getting frustrated with Becky during this match, trying to get the win, couldn't get the pins or anything like that. Sasha Banks went and got a chair. She threw it into the ring, only for then the ref to sort of grab it to put it out of the ring, distracting the ref. Her to grab another chair as Becky went through the middle ropes to pick her out from ringside to get a chair to the midsection. That was one thing. And then Sasha went to hit Becky with the chair, only for the ref to stop her. And threw the chair down. Becky Lynch picked up, went to use it on Sasha, only to hit the ref. They hit the ref went down. Then they had a bit of a fight through the crowd, bit of a brawl. There was a nice disarmer through the railings, the steps in the crowd. It was quite nice. They went through the arena as well. They had a bit of a brawl back into the arena, back through to the down to the ring. Becky attacked Sasha with a chair, getting some redemption, and then she did a disarmer through the chair, so through the back, and all the refs come down to sort of pull her off, and it was kind of like a no finish DQ. Subsequently, she's been fined for attacking a ref. That's kind of how it is. They'll probably have another match in Hell in a Cell. I think they might be in the cell. We'll have to see. And then we had Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. What you would have thought from a Randy Orton Kofi Kingston WWE title match. It wasn't very good, in my opinion. It was a bit boring again. Randy Orton went for a punt. It got counted into Trouble in Paradise. Kofi won. I'm not going to say much more than that. Then we had Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan. No DQ match. Obviously, they've had a storied rivalry because of the attempted hit and run and the scaffold and the forklift and all that stuff. There were some steel steps used from the beginning, kendo stick. They fought through the crowd. There was one moment where Roman Reigns was outside near the announce tables, and Eric Rowan just literally ran at him and steamrolled into him, which was really explosive. He really took him out with some force. There was Eric Rowan exposed the LED boards that are on the side of the ring, and then he sort of threw him into that. Rowan power bombed Roman Reigns through a table, through the announce table. They fought through to the sound area as well, that's just near the ring, in the crowd. Roman went through like a normal table there, and Eric Rowan sort of dragged into the stage, and then he tried to grab that sort of camera boom to throw it in him, only for Roman to counter and sort of do the same thing back. And then he he threw Eric Rowan down the ramp to the ring. He went for a spear. He went running down, only to catch a big boot from who, Kai?
Luke Harper?
Yep, a returning Luke Harper. Obviously, Luke Harper's been a bit of controversy with him with his asking for his release and his contract being extended and all that stuff, but he's back now. And then they sort of did a double team, and Eric Rowan got the win on Roman Reigns. So we get to the main event. Seth Rollins versus Strowman for the Universal title. Not a very long match. Basically, the story points are that there was a moment where Seth Rollins went for a suicide dive. He went through the ropes to Strowman outside, who sort of backed onto the announce table. He did it again, and then he literally went through the announce table, sort of crumbled the announce table. Then Seth Rollins did not one, not two, but 3 curb stomps, went for the pin. He kicked out every time, and then he went for a pedigree and the 4th curb stomp and got the win.
He used to do the pedigree.
Yeah, he did used to do that before the stomp. When they banned the stomp, he did the pedigree. He's gone back doing the stomp, but he had to do the pedigree this time. It was the only way he could get the monster down, and he did slay the monster. But what did he do? He awoken the fiend, and As Seth Rollins was up on the ramp celebrating his victory, the lights went out, only for the Fiend to appear, did his sister Abigail, and then a mandible claw, and that's kind of how it ended. So we now know it's going to be Seth Rollins versus the Fiend, Hell in a Cell, I'm guessing in the cell, for the Universal title. So it's going to be quite a cool match, that one.
If the Fiend wins, he probably is going to be unstoppable with that belt.
Well, he might be, yes. He already has a victory over Finn Balor, and we haven't seen Finn Balor since. And now he's going against Seth Rollins in what I'm thinking is going to be a Hell in a Cell. So yeah, that was Clash of Champions. Again, it was in the middle of the pay-per-view. You know, it's a thumbs middle, and it wasn't brilliant and it wasn't rubbish. It was in the middle. They had some good moments, and that it's kind of one of them sort of Passover pay-per-views between like SummerSlam and Survivor Series. It's a Passover one, but it was okay. It had some nice moments. So yeah, I'm happy. There was enough to keep me happy in that pay-per-view. So that being said, this week, today's Monday as we're recording this. Monday, Raw, SmackDown, and also NXT this week goes live. So, yes, this week we'll be doing a Raw review, which will be the Rawsome review. We'll be doing the Out of the Blue, the SmackDown review, and the new Look Back NXT recap, which I'm afraid will have to be Saturday this week because I'm quite busy. NXT's review, I'm looking forward to it. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. That's the main thing. We'd like you to subscribe if you like the videos, and we'll see you in the next video, which will be the Rawsome review. So I'll say goodbye, and say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.